Do you want to raise your stats as a good friend? Do you want to be the kind of friend that is thoughtful and kind and sweet? The kind of friends your friends deserve? Stop. This is the video for you. I'm going to show you how to make handmade cards because it is not that hard. It is very cheap to do. It is thrifty. It is fun, and it is a great creative outlet. So here lies my case of why I think you should make handmade cards and how to do it. Also, I always forget to introduce myself. My name is Vic. Hi. I make videos on this YouTube channel, Yarn Toot and Crafts, every other week, every other Friday, and they're usually about creativity, thrifting, crafts, things like that. I've also got into having a pocket journal, which we'll probably talk about in a later video, but I have some notes here. Okay, now to the tools that you will need for this. You're going to need some scrap paper, some blank cards, a cutting device, which could be scissors, an X-Acto knife, anything like that, a mark maker, so a pen, marker, pencil, color pencil, anything, an adhesive, so that can be a glue stick, Mod Podge, tape, an envelope to put the card in when it's done, to either ship to your friend or just hand them. It just adds a nice little polished touch, and some stamps if you are going to mail them. The kind of cards I like to make are collages, so you don't need to be able to draw to do this. Here are a couple of pictures of cards I've made before to show my portfolio, and we're going to go get some magazines from this thrift store called The Waste Shed in Chicago, and I have a couple of magazines here that I like to use, but I thought I could get a couple more. So we're going to go visit the Waste Shed and see what they have in store. I'm really excited to check out this store. They seem to have a lot of craft supplies ranging from fabric to yarn to stamps, and I can't wait to get my little grubby hands on all of it. They open at 11, so it's 11:09. Let's get going. So I am back from the Waste Shed, and I want to show you what I got. I got, first off, some scrapbook paper. That's just fun papers. This I thought could be fun for a holiday card. A nice red. This is just a good pink. And a little patterned blue. I thought those could be good cutouts, backgrounds for cards, something like that. Then I showed in the video, they had a lot of National Geographic magazines, and I picked up one of those that looks interesting to me. This one is actually from 1995, so it's the oldest magazine I have. I also have behind the camera this magazine from 1999, but 1995, this one's the oldest I've got. I feel like National Geographic is known for having really cool photos, like this is pretty neat. I don't know what's going on there. Beautiful nature photography in National Geographic. This is exciting. A fold-out page, so there's a full spread. That's very interesting. So I'm excited to look through that. Then for kind of like words to cut out, I found this mantra wellness book, and I really liked that it's got these sayings in this kind of fun font. But they also had these little tiny ones that I can cut out and use on something, perhaps. I thought that could be fun. Lots of fonts, lots of colors. And then I have this great book that's My Adventures in Europe. That's just paintings and kind of how to do paintings of European landscapes or cityscapes or towns, things like that. I think that's really cool. And then I got this $1 Walt Disney alphabet book. And they have fun little guys in there too. And then they had a whole bunch of stamps, which is great because I've been looking for stamps. So I got generic card ones. I think I'm going to be making a lot of holiday cards, so I got a Season's Greetings stamp. That's a beautiful wreath. A happy birthday stamp, because I'll be making a lot of birthday cards. These, clear stamps, which I thought were cool, that have a little to and from. These are all holiday, winter things. Good for Christmas. And then some thank you stamps. So these ones say an elegant thank you, a little silly thank you. There's a variety. So now it's time to get creative. I'm going to go through all these magazines I have, try and get some layout ideas. Okay, I lied. We actually need to try out all these stamps first because I'm really excited about them. When he's trying to tap my mic. Gorgeous. Love. Let's do another one. We've got this cute little thank you. Very cute. Very, very cute. Still pretty good. Winnie. I tend to get quiet when I craft, but I want to tell you what I'm doing. So, my card that I'm working on right now, I'm gathering materials for, and it's going to be for my sister, who is pregnant, and I want to make her a card, I think to send before the baby is born, but just to celebrate her getting pregnant, and that's something she was so excited about. So for a while, I've had this page bookmarked that just says Celebrate Motherhood, and it's for a little figurine, but I really want to cut out that phrasing. So I was looking for other mother-type things, and I found a baby panda from the National Geographic book, and the baby with its mother. And then I have from that little alphabet book, I knew this would come in handy. I didn't know why, and I didn't know how, but I knew it would. Hi, Winnie. Is, there's a baby, because B for baby. And I looked, there's no M for mom, but I know my sister would really appreciate this. She's one of my #1 fans in everything I do, all my creative endeavors especially. So I really want to make her a card to celebrate this big goal for her, because she is my #1 supporter, and I want to do the same for her. So just showing up for those relationships. So right now I'm just looking through and seeing anything that Winnie, the cats really need attention. And looking for anything that's giving motherly, family, cozy, new adventure even. So I'm looking through these landscapes. Hi, yes, I love you. This might be nice because they went on their honeymoon in Italy, and this is very Venetian, right? Venice. Rebirth, renewal, this is a spring edition, it's talking about that. This is a collectibles magazine I found. This is always really great for any kind of scrapbooking. I have 2 collector's magazines because they just have a lot of, like, old things in them, and it's just like a shopping catalog. So this is about a lot of St. Patrick's Day stuff. I don't know that I'll send a St. Patrick's Day card to someone. If I wanted, I can include a little figurine that says, I'm sorry. I've already cut out a couple things here because I used it for some spreads I did in my junk journal. One was a guy who was like this, and I thought he was really funny. I think this is a really nice spread I've got, and I'm scared if I go any further, I will find something weird. That my sister's gonna be like, it was really sweet until you put Master Sculptor Gaylord Ho in there. So for this, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife, and I have a little cutting mat, which is just a cutting board. It's from IKEA, and it was, I think, $2, so is it going to dull my blade really fast? I think so, but I don't really care. If you don't have an X-Acto knife or cutting board, those are kind of like level 2 when you start realizing you're into collaging and you're into making cards. If you continue doing this, you could just use regular scissors. This is a Martha Stewart home. Store-bought is fine, you don't have to make your own scissors, but use the tools you have. Don't feel like you have to go get anything fancy. This is supposed to be a crafty, fun thing that's thrifty. Did I spend $20 at the waste shed? Maybe. This blue, my sister is having a boy, so this blue might be a lovely little background. And then this is basically going to be like the cover on the outside of our card, just because the cards I have are not truly blank, and they're very glossy on the front, since I'm reusing my sister's old cards. But so it will, when it's glued on, look like that. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to not do it directly on the card. I'm going to do it on here, and then put it on the card at the end, because I've just found if I make any mistake, then I don't have to get rid of the blank card. Let's lay things out and see how it'll be. We need to celebrate motherhood. Let's get that done first. I have a big quilting ruler. This isn't the best thing for this, but it works. It's a ruler, and it's a straight edge. If you have a thick book, if you have an actual ruler, use whatever you got. Today's actually the day before my birthday, so I'm very excited. I've been rewatching Avatar with my girlfriend Hannah because she's never seen it, and I'm a big Avatar fan, so we're finishing up the whole series tonight, and I'm very excited. I think we might watch Korra after. We definitely want to watch the new movie because I still haven't seen that. And then maybe the baby panda. This is what X-Acto knives are really good for, is cutting out like a silhouette. It's fun, it feels like Photoshop in real life. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and just celebrate motherhood and the baby, and then I might draw some things around the baby. But I'm just using my glue stick now to put the baby on the card. And this is just a regular old Elmer's glue stick, nothing fancy. I am going to secure it down with Mod Podge, which is the one, like, specialty thing I have for this craft. But you can just use a glue stick, it's not a big deal. Or tape, even. I always really am jealous of the people who have the little whiteout dispensers that dispense tape. You know what I'm talking about? These guys. Those look amazing for scrapbooking. As a kid, I used to really be into scrapbooking. Like, you'd think that I'd be out playing with other kids making memories, but no. I was in my house at the dining room table scrapbooking because I've always been a grandmother in different ages and different bodies. I just love grandma hobbies. I'm very happy with that. And then I really like this star stamp that's in there. I think it's really whimsical and cute. So I'm going to put some stars on, I think. But first I'm going to Mod Podge everything down. Okay, low-key, I wish you could see my setup right now because my camera is in between my legs like Patrick Swayze in the movie Ghost when they're doing the pottery. So this is a kind of wild setup. But we're going to Mod Podge this down now. So I just have a little thing of Mod Podge here and a regular schmegular old brush from Target from a paint kit. And I'm just going to gently apply that to everything, especially the edges, make sure it's all glued down. I want to leave it too thick because it does dry clear and a little bit noticeable if it's really thick, so try and get a nice thin layer on everything. Also, this is good to have some kind of mat down just so you don't make a big mess. I'm just using my cutting mat because that's good enough for me. You don't want to get the paper too saturated, especially if it's like a magazine paper and not something super sturdy, because it will start to pucker a little bit. It's the next day now, and I'm going to continue making cards. I finished this Celebrate Motherhood card for my sister, who is having a baby soon. I was a little frustrated because the stamps didn't come out exactly as I wanted them, but I just bought some more materials to help me make using those clear stamps a little bit easier. Since this card is done and ready to be secured, I think I'll Mod Podge it down to glue it on. And then now we've got this card finished up and ready to go into the drying rack. So I'll just put that to the side, let it dry, and secure that down a little bit more. And wait for it to be done. Okay, I have a card in mind for my one specific friend. Emily, if you're watching this, get out. But they're getting married soon-ish, next year. And I have this little wedding cake that I found. And I think it could be really cute to show two beetles kissing, because that's very much them and their partner's vibes. So I'm going to make these two beetles kiss and put them on a wedding card. And it'll be for their wedding, or their engagement, or whatever. So let's cut out these beetles.
There's an evil inside your heart, and you'll rise at the time. And there's people who could live longer, they could just die. You wouldn't cry, you'd just shed a single tear. So would I.
I finished making a couple cards, and I just worked on some of them in private while watching some videos, some YouTube, some movies. I'm actually in the middle of watching Party Girl right now. But I wanted to show you the cards I've made. So I think I showed you this one that I made for my sister. Then my friends recently moved into a new apartment, and they have this rug that is bug patterned. So I have congrats on your bug home, because we kept calling it their bug rug. And then my friends, this one's a little premature, but I saw this wedding cake and thought it was so cute. And my friends are getting married next year, and they're very Beatlecore. Like, this is very much their vibe, so I did one with a veil, one with a little bow tie, and then this wedding cake. So maybe I'll send it, I'll hold off and wait for it to be their wedding card. Then my friend recently graduated law school, so I have a little congratulations. Very stupid and silly, but if you see closely, he's got a little graduation cap. He graduated from law school, just like my friend, and I'm so proud of her. And I know she's going to pass the bar as well. And then my other friend is doing a DJ gig on Wednesday, and I'm really excited. I'm going to see them tomorrow. And I just want to say congrats on your DJ gig. It's their first one ever, and their name's Jackie. So it goes really well. DJ Jack Rabbit. I thought that was funny and cute. And he's got little headphones on. So I made these cards. I'm going to fill some of them out, but this is going to be the end of the video. I really think that you should make your own cards. That's my whole argument for this video. It is super fun. It is super easy. You get to be creative, and I think these are things that I want to congratulate my friends on and my family on, but I wouldn't necessarily give a card. And I want to be the kind of person who is thoughtful and kind and goes out of the way to really celebrate my friends, because they make me feel celebrated. And so I'm happy that I'm going to start doing this for people. I'm going to have some just stock of cards I can have if I get invited to a birthday party, if I have any events coming up. I'll just have these little cards. So I'm going to give these away to my friends. If you make any cards, if you have occasions to give cards to people that you think are a little unusual, not the common, like, birthdays, holidays, whatever, tell me. I want to know more cards I can make. If you have inspiration, I would take it. What little crafts do you do in your free time? Things like that. I hope you are convinced to make your own cards. It's super fun. It's super silly. And I think the people who are going to get them are going to like them. And this is also a story of don't let perfectionism stop you, because I was getting really frustrated with this first card and being way too hard on myself. But you just gotta power through and make things that matter to you, and it'll matter to the people you care about. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with me.